You often find yourself getting to that point. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Crashing out. What level of crash out are you? Are you a fully crasher? You tearing shit up? Or you're a quiet crasher? You go in the bathroom, screaming to your hands, ah! Or are you a stealthy, vengeful crasher? Are you going to spit in your roommate's lemonade and put it back for later? Well, in this video, we're going to explore the 50 shades of crashing out. So, I myself, I'm all shades of crash out. Depending on where you get me is what you're going to get. Okay, I've been known in my past to be a vengeful crash out. I've sabotaged drinks. I've damaged property. I don't recommend that you do that. But if they play in your face, you got to do what you got to do. Let's explain the different types of crashing. First up, you have your professional crashers. Now, these type of crash outs usually occur on a job, in a school, or in a church, or somewhere you're not expecting to fully show your ass. Let's give an example. Professional crash out. Let's paint a picture. Your boss asks you to do a task. You believe you perform that task well, but here comes Bob from marketing, not minding his goddamn business, pointing out things to your supervisor that he may have missed or are relatively not important or you're on top of in the first place, and put his 2 cents in your business. So in this scenario, you can't fully crash out on Bob and beat his ass, but you do feel offended enough where you have to let Bob know you've been wronged. Okay, this type of crash out usually happens in email. Now, I have to do this crash out several times a day, but that's neither here nor there. So next up, the next type of crasher we have is one of my favorites. I can't lie to you, one of my favorites, and it was mentioned earlier in the video, the vengeful crash out. Okay, so let's say you have a little brother or a little sister, in my instance, that's always on your goddamn nerves, right? You tell little sis, hey, stay out of my room. Does she stay out of your room? No, she's in this motherfucker all the time. Okay? All the time. I just told you stay out of my room. Don't come in here. Why are you in my room again? So, you set a little booby trap for sis, okay? You put a bucket of water above the door, slightly crack it, and you set it up to splash little sister's ass when she walks in your room. But you may be an only child and you've not experienced this with a sibling. So, let's go to a roommate. Roommates constantly in the fridge. You ask your roommate to put in on the groceries, but for some reason, they will never have no money, right? You stock the fridge anyways. And there's specific items that are your items. You love these items, right? You love these items. You put these items in there, you let everybody know, hey, these are my items. These are my community items, okay? But as soon as you leave the house, or as soon as you decide to take a long nap, you come back to that refrigerator and somebody's bust open your personal items. What do? You smear a little dog poop on those frozen hamburgers, and you're gonna sacrifice them because you're vengeful. So you're petty. Vengeful crash outs usually are also petty too. That goes over into the next type of crash out. Petty crash outs, right? Let me paint you a picture of a petty crash out. So you go to a fast food restaurant, right? And usually it's the girlfriend, it's your wife, it's your significant other, it's your boo thing, it's your crush, it's that person that's sitting next to you in the passenger seat that does a little petty crash out, right? Okay, you're at a fast food restaurant. You order your various count amounts of Chick-fil-A nuggets, and the fast food worker gives you said Polynesian sauce, right? But for some reason, that significant other is not happy with the number of Polynesians that are in the bag. So she proceeds to insert her petty crash out. So you ask for Polynesian. The fast food worker then proceeds to give you extra Polynesian. Still not satisfied with the gallons full of Polynesian in the bag. That said person says, can I get it extra Polynesian? Extra. Okay. So that would be considered a petty crash out. Asserting your dominance over Polynesian. On to the next. You have your quiet crash outs. So these are the crash outs that usually happen when you're crashing on someone of authority. Let's say your mom tells you to get in there and clean up that room, right? We've all been there before. Get in there and clean up that room. You clean up the room. You think you're good. You power up the good old PlayStation, Xbox, PC, whatever you game on. 30 seconds later, she comes in, SWAT team level, bursts in your door. Boom. Get in there and wash those dishes. This is when, immediately after her leaving the room, you silently crash out so that she does not hear you. There's no sound. That's a silent crash out. You don't hear it. It's there, but you don't hear it. Next crash out, we're just going to simply call this the verbal assault. So the verbal assault is when you had enough. You tired of motherfuckers playing in your face. So you decide to let them know. It's not violent. It's not violent, but it's verbally violent. You give them all your energy. You ball it up in a big ball of words, and you sling it at their head. In other words, you cuss their ass out. Sometimes these verbal crash outs can seem just as hard as the most top tier God level crash outs. You hit below the belt. You talk about someone's mom. You use every single curse word from A to B to F to Z, whatever. You use them all. You gotta feel me. I'm telling you, motherfucker, you're a bitch ass. Fuck your mother. Sometimes sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will cut as deep. Okay. And finally, last but not least, we have God tier, atomic bomb, train wreck, full level physical crash out. You can assert a physical crash out on both people and property. Now, these are the ones that usually come with the most repercussions, or they may not come with any at all. It just depends. You can use a combination of crash outs for this S tier God level crash out that you're about to inflict on your worst enemy. Usually before you get to this God tier level of crash out, there are warning signs. When you see someone proceed to throw their setup, just know they're ready to crash out on your ass. When you see an uptick in speed of walk, you need to be ready. They may be ready to crash out. Sometimes you may get a combination of the verbal crash out before you get to Super Saiyan level crash out. So you just have to read the signs. It can come in all forms. But when they happen, oh my gosh, they happen. So let's give an example. You're dating someone. You've invested time into this person. You've invested money into this person. You've invested your body into this person. But secretly, this person is continuing a relationship with someone else, right? You find out about said relationship and you decide, oh no, don't play with me. I'm about to crash out on your ass. You decide to stalk this person. I personally don't do this, but you may decide to. And you find out that he's at that bitch house right now, okay? You go over there. You see his car in the parking lot. Immediately, it's mental. It's all in the mental. You go to that place. You go to that dark place, and you begin your ultimate crash out. You might bust a windshield. You might scrape bitch on the side of his car, cheater on the other. You decide to poke those tires. This is a physical crash out, okay? But then it gets worse. He comes outside. Oh my God, what are you doing in my car? Then you take it to the next level and you smack him, you scratch him, you spit on him, you bite him, you punch him, you kick him. These are all God tier crash outs. So there you have it. I hope you all learned something. I hope you learned something about crashing out. And always remember, think before you crash out. Sometimes cooler heads prevail. Analyze what level of crash out you decide to use and use it appropriately. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe because I hate to crash out on your ass.